What's up, cyber peeps? This is your girl Toy Xavier here, and you're watching Toy Xavier TV. Y'all know what tonight is. Tonight is story time night. Wednesday night is story time night. So tonight, I wanted to kind of give two stories actually. The first one was an experience, because this is Halloween. Every Wednesday night in the month of October is going to be some scary or spooky experience that I have encountered in my life. This is like my favorite part of vlogging is story time, because I get to let you all in on some crazy, weird, spooky, outrageous experiences that I have encountered in my 37 years being on this planet, y'all. So, okay. Let's go ahead and get started. The first story that I want to tell you all about, this is kind of like I want to say ghost story, but I really didn't physically see anything. I just experienced the possibilities of a ghost, maybe. I'm not really clear on how to explain it, exactly what the circumstances were. But it started, I used to work at a hospital, and I worked as a unit secretary on a med-surg diabetes floor, where we got all of the patients that were either too sick because of physical ailments to go to mental health floor because they had mental issues, or they were like having major surgeries the next day or something like that. So it was pretty much I call it the floor where they brought people to die, because we had a lot of deaths on that floor. The unit secretary position required me to answer the call light to the nurses from the patient's rooms, and I would either, go check on them or send a patient care assistant to go check on them, or a nurse, depending on the circumstances. And at one point, we got monitors where we had cameras in the patient's rooms. I had full view of the patients when they called from the call light. Now, the way the AP system worked, it was a particular system designed specifically for that floor, which means that we had 42 beds. All 42 beds was linked to the 10th floor, which is the floor that I worked on. And each room was wired to go to my front desk. So, if you were in another part of the hospital, in another ward, in another floor, on another floor, that particular call light went to that front desk. You couldn't call from the 6th floor patient room to the front desk on the 10th floor. The call light would only go to the actual front desk of that floor. So one night I worked the night shift. I worked from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And it always got weird after like midnight. For some reason, midnight was the night where things went weird. At the hospital that I worked at, the 8th floor was closed. It was completely locked. You couldn't, the rooms were locked. You can get to the 8th floor via elevator, but it was nothing there. Like, there was no nurses station, there was no patients. It was just like an empty floor altogether. The floor was originally an oncology floor for the cancer ward. It was pretty much the cancer ward. And so, it was, a lot of things happened on that floor, that was really sad. Now, one night I'm doing my work, and I'm doing my paperwork and stuff, and I'm making sure I got all the patients accounted for, all the new patients that were coming to the floor. I made sure that they were all accounted for, and everybody didn't need anything. I got all the charts together, and the call light just keeps going off. And I'm looking at the call light, and it's coming from room 803. And when I pick it up, I just hear static. And I'm like, hello? Just hear static. So I hang it back up, and I promise you it will be like maybe 2 to 3 minutes later, it'll go off again from room 803. And I go, hello? And I can hear something, but I can't determine if it's a voice or if it's actually just more static, or just like, a glitch in the matrix. Who the hell knows? Anyway, I'm getting annoyed because I'm busy, and I'm like, this AP system is jacked up. Like, somebody needs to stop calling me. So when the nurses come back around, I was like, y'all, I keep getting this call, and it's like steady going off. I'm like, y'all, somebody keeps calling me from room 803. And they was like, what? That's not possible. That floor is closed. I said, look at it. Look at the call light. It's saying it's coming from room 803. Pick up the phone again, and I'm like, 10th floor Barry, how can I help you? Nobody says anything. It's just like static, or you can hear, y'all, I don't know if it's breathing. I don't know what it was. All I know is that I can hear somebody, like something. I can hear something, and it wasn't static. It was staticky, but it was not just 100% static. So I'm hanging up the phone, and I'm like, this is getting annoying. This is getting annoying. That was the first night it happened. I ignored it. I went home, went to sleep, came back to work the next day. It started happening again around the same time. And I was asking the other girl who worked the day shift. She said, no, that never happened. I'm like, well, why is it happening now? So the second time it happened, so this is night 2. And it started doing it again, and this time it was every minute. It was like just constant ring, 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 beep, beep. I'm like, 10th floor, this is Toya. How can I help you? Hello, hello. And it's just static, just nothing but static, nothing but static. And then it's like that glitchy sound. So at that point, I saw one of the security officers that works the hospital, and I told him what was going on. And the nurse, she was like, let's go to that floor and check it out. I'm like, no, I'm not going to that floor. Because I'm like, if that floor is empty, there's nobody, this floor has been closed for over 2 years. There's nobody supposed to be on that floor. All of the actual rooms, they're not supposed to be anybody in there. Nobody can physically go in there. So hell no, I'm not going to that floor. So I'm tripping because I'm freaking out now. I'm like, okay, it's consistently happening. And just what happened, another girl that worked the 5th floor, she was up there dropping off a patient that was being transferred to our floor. And I was telling her, she's like, what's going on? I was telling her what happened. She said that, oh, I got that same call one time from room 803. Isn't it? It was creepy. And she said, there's nobody. We went and investigated. There's nobody on that floor. And that room, that particular room was locked. It was padlocked, y'all. The room had a fucking padlock on it, y'all. I'm like, hell no. You think I'm finna go down there to that floor? And this person calling me? Like, no, I'm not doing it. So we got security to do it. And the house supervisor, one of the security officers, and I think the head nurse that was working on my shift that night, they were going to be the brave souls and mosey their little asses down to to 2 floors below and investigate what's going on in that room. The security guard, he and the house supervisor were the only ones that had keys to that room. I'm thinking, or it was just the house supervisor. I'm not sure. So I think maybe it was security. They were the only one that has the key. So they go down there and they're like, the room is padlocked. So they call me on the actual desk phone, and they were like, Toya, this room is padlocked, but we heard something in there, but they came back. Like, they just was like, fuck it, we're not going to investigate. We're just going to leave it alone. We don't know why it's calling you or what's calling you. If it happens again, we're going to notify the person that's in charge of the hospital to go and get going. But we're not going in the room, basically. So it was so funny because, like, the security guard, he was this little short black man. And he was, about 5'2", had his little keys. And he was like, you know what? We're just not going to go. And the house supervisor, he was this really cool, I think he was he was Jewish. I'm not really sure, but he was this really cool Jewish man. He just had like this cool swag about him, and he was like, "Yeah, we're gonna leave it alone." And the nurse, she was a white girl. She was like, "Well, I just know one thing. We're just not ever gonna go to that floor again. How about that?" I was like, "I understand why you don't want to go to that floor again." So we go back to work, and I'm like, "So what did y'all see exactly? Like, the room is padlocked." They was like, "Yeah." I said, "So nobody can go in or out of the room." I said, so, and you couldn't have actually called me from the room playing a joke, because you was up here and you saw it yourself, because you didn't believe me when I tried to tell you. I was talking to the security guard. I said, because when I called him, he was like, no, that's not possible, ma'am. Nobody can call you from another floor, from a room. I'm like, yes, they can. And apparently it's happening from this room. So he had came up here to my desk and he saw it for himself. And that's when he decided to go and look, because he's like, wait a minute, something's not right. Anyway, y'all, I was so freaked out. I had goosebumps for the whole night. I'm like, look, y'all need to get it together with these doggone creepy things on the floor of this hospital. So after that, I chopped it up and I just went home. I was like, I started taking the stairs. And I'm going to tell y'all something. when I take the stairs up to the 10th floor, because I hated getting on the elevators was so raggedy. They would just be creepy. And working at night at that hospital, when I had to go pick up blood for a patient or drop off paperwork to somewhere, I hated walking in a hospital at night because it was so quiet, and you always feel like somebody's behind you. You always feel like you can hear footsteps. The hospital was just overall creepy anyway. So I'm going home one evening. No, correction. I was actually going down to the ground floor to the pharmacy to pick up saline. And I had to get on the elevators because I think the way it worked, it wouldn't let me get off. Like, it only took me down to the lobby, and I would always get lost when I got down to the ground floor. And the elevator would take me straight to the pharmacy from the bottom, from past the actual lobby area of the hospital. How come this motherfucking elevator decides to stop? I was on 10 and I hit the 1. And when you hit the 1G button, it takes you directly to when it opens up and the pharmacy's like right there. How come this damn elevator stops on number 8? So me thinking, okay, well, maybe security was doing a walkthrough or something like that. This damn elevator stopped on the 8th floor. Them doors opened up. Nobody got in. I was pressing them buttons. I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I was scared as shit, y'all. I'm talking about freaking out, like crying, like, ah! I already don't like elevators as it is. I'm stuck in this little ass box and I'm on the 100th floor. And I'm thinking the 803 ghost is trying to get my ass. And I'm like, ah! And the elevator's shaking and shit. And all of a sudden, it just shoots down to the 1st floor. And I get off and I'm at the pharmacy. I'm like, I need to get some saline. She was like, are you okay, ma'am? I'm like, no, I'm not okay. I'm not okay. I'm not okay. She was like, what's wrong? I'm like, if I told y'all, you wouldn't believe me. You would not believe me. So she gave me the saline. Y'all, I ran my ass with 2 bags of saline up, I don't know how many flights of stairs, all the way to the 10th floor. And when I got to the level of the 8th floor, I felt so uncomfortable. I'm like, if something opens that door, I'm running back down to the 1st floor. I may just jump over the rails down. I probably just jumped to my death. I don't know. But y'all, it was so crazy. Anyway, y'all, that was those were my 2 experiences that I had working at the hospital at in Memphis, Tennessee. And I no longer work there. I'm so happy. I have a peace of mind. I never got resolution as to why something from room 803 was calling the call light for emergency help. I don't know if they ever went into the room to check on it. I don't know. And I don't care. So anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in for tonight's story time. And I do thank you all for watching. Thumbs up if you love story time, everybody. Thumbs up if you like this video. And remember to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, Toy Xavier TV. And I will see you guys later. Bye.